and welcome to By George I Did It. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make one of my favorite side dishes, Fideo. I learned how to make Fideo from a friend of mine's mother in high school, and I've taken it with me ever since. So the first thing we want to do today is cut our vegetables. I have my pre-washed vegetables, 1 large tomato, a small onion, and 1 jalapeno pepper. I'm going to do a rough chop on the tomatoes, nothing fancy. Be careful not to cut your fingers off. Next we'll do a fine, not a fine dice, but about a medium dice on our onion. The type of onion you use depends on the kind of flavor you like. I use just a regular old yellow onion. Sometimes I use red if I want a little more flavor, sometimes I use sweet. If I like less flavor, I can use a white. It's really up to you. You can dice it finer if you don't want to have a big chunk of an onion, or I like the onion. It really adds a good flavor, so I like to know that I'm eating the onion. Same with the tomato. Now jalapeno, I use a whole jalapeno, sometimes more, sometimes less. Depends on the heat of the jalapeno, depends on who I'm making it for. If I make it for the kids, I do a little bit less. If I'm making it for myself, I may do more. But this time I'm just going to use 1 jalapeno. There we go. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to put some oil in our pan and get it heated. Today I'm using canola oil. You can use any kind of oil that you like. Olive oil doesn't have as high of a heat value, so you might want to use a vegetable or corn oil. I like to get a pretty good base on the bottom of the pan, so we got 1, 2, 3 tablespoons of oil. We're going to let that get a little bit hot. Once that comes up to heat, we're going to add our pasta. Today I'm using a spaghetti that I broke into little pieces. You can use basically any kind of pasta that you like. Seashell's a good pasta. Elbow macaroni is good. They also make a ready-made Fideo at the store that's really good. But today I just had spaghetti, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. Our oil is getting there, so I go ahead and dump my pasta into the pan. Okay, so here we have our pasta browning in the oil. You really want to put a really good brown on this pasta. Almost burnt. Not quite burnt, but right before you get to burnt. You want to just keep stirring that, work the crispy parts through. If you don't brown the pasta, you end up with more of a soggy type of a Fideo. Kind of break the pasta down a little bit more as you're stirring here. As you can see, we're starting to get some nice crispies coming up. Starting to get really nice and crispy down there on the bottom. Stir that up a little more, get those on. Oh yeah. As you can see, this is really starting to brown up nicely. It looks like I have about a 50% or so of really nice brown pieces. To the side here, I have 6 cups of water. And I'm going to go ahead and give that a stir. Now that's not looking like enough water to me, so I think I'm going to add another 3 cups. Go ahead and add that. There we go. If you can see here, it's just a nice, you know, over the pasta amount of water. So we have 9 cups of water in there. Next I'm going to add some of the Knorr tomato chicken bouillon. This is what really makes the Fideo. You can find this in your Mexican aisle at the grocery store. So I'll start with 1 tablespoon. There's a lot of salt in this bouillon, so you want to be careful. So I'll maybe do another half. That's a pretty big batch here. We'll stir it up and kind of see what we got. I'm going to grab a spoon for tasting so I can see how much broth I have. May need a little more bouillon in here. It's pretty close, but I'm going to add just a little bit more. Just barely. Now I'm going to put in the vegetables that we chopped up earlier. Just place those right in. I ended up having to add about 3 more cups of water. So I have about 12 cups of water in here. We added the vegetables. Now we're just kind of letting it simmer. I'm going to turn the heat up just a little bit so it gets hot. Okay, as you can see, the pasta has absorbed a lot of the broth and it's cooking away. The tomatoes and the peppers and the onions are getting nice and soft. I have it right now on a good medium high and it's been cooking for, I'd say, about 20 minutes. So I'm guessing about 5 more minutes and it'll be ready to eat. Okay, as you can see, we've boiled a lot of the water out. The pasta's absorbed it and it's about ready to eat. So I'm going to go ahead and spoon me a big old bowl. One for my husband. Now, if you're a cilantro fan, this is a great time to add some cilantro. My husband's not a big fan of cilantro, so I'm going to go ahead and put some in for myself. And he don't get any. I also heated up a couple tortillas. So there you have it.